Good morning to all students. Today we have with us one of the probably the most renowned and legendary zoo veterinarian, forest veterinarian, Dr. N.S. Manoharan, who is an alumnus of Madras Veterinary College, completed the Bachelor of Veterinary Science in the year 1980 to 85, and continued to pursue his Masters in Veterinary Surgery from Madras Veterinary College in the year 92 to 94. Initially, Dr. N.S. Manoharan served as Zoo Veterinary Officer for almost 11 years, Forest Veterinary Officer for 18 years, and retired as Additional Director of Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services during 2019 December. Dr. N.S. Manoharan is presently working as the course coordinator at Tamil Nadu Forest Academy, Coimbatore, which is a very, very prestigious position for a veterinarian, whom we should all feel very much proud of, Dr. N.S. Manoharan. And Dr. Manoharan has handled both in captivity and free-ranging wild animal conditions, such as imparting treatment, performing surgeries, prescribing diet schedule, reared, orphaned, or abandoned young ones of different wild animals, suggested disease preventive measures and health protocols, trained, chemically captured, rescued, transported many wild animal species, etc. And he is a very, very renowned zoo veterinarian known throughout India as well as to abroad. So Dr. Manoharan has visited many countries for various wild laboratory training programs and workshops. And it is our privilege and fortunate to have with us today Dr. N.S. Manoharan, one of our alumni, will be addressing our students on human-elephant conflict. Over to you, sir. Now you can share your.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Shankar, sir. I will just share the. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, you can put it as a slideshow.
Yeah. Now the PPT is visible, na?
Super, sir. Correct, sir. Sir.
Okay. Can I start now, sir?
Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah. Very good morning to Dr. Shankar, sir, and Dr. John Kripagar, sir. I'm telling them, sir, because the position of professor is better than, or it is, I will say, responsibility wise, it is more than an additional director, because they're producing veterinarians. They are producing veterinarians of different cadres. So I feel very proud to say Dr. Shankar sir, Dr. John Kripagar sir, and I personally also thank Dr. Shankar sir for giving me a nice introduction about me. And for the participants, I'll tell you, it is not only me, you also should feel indebted to them for having such kind of interaction. During our days, during my days and Dr. Shankar sir, Dr. John Kripagar sir, we did not have an opportunity to witness or to see or to hear such kind of lectures, which is away from our routine classes. So with that small introduction and my thanks to both sirs, I will begin my lecture. Students, for the next 1 hour, I wish that you carefully observe whatever I am going to say, and at the end of it or during the course of also, you can put it in the chat box, whatever your doubt is, so that at the end of the lecture, we can discuss something. Veterinarian role, I will say, now has changed, or it is changing or emerging, because it is not only the domesticated livestock we take care, free-ranging livestock, I will say free-ranging livestock include elephants, other species of carnivores, other species of herbivores. Also, we may have to deal. The expectations from various stakeholders, whether it is from forest department or from revenue department or from administrative department, police department, agriculture department, various departments, is that veterinarians play a multivarious roles. This is one among them. So with that small introduction, I will go into the topic given to me, which is human, generally wildlife negative interaction, but SARS felt that we'll go species wise. So human elephant conflict. So for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour, we will be discussing about human elephant negative interactions and conflict. Next slide. Before we get into the conflict per se, we have to understand what is in hand, what are the details available with us, what are the data available with us. It is not that human-wildlife conflict suddenly comes. The human-wildlife conflict normally happens in the interface areas. An interface area is one which is connecting, or which is a connections between wildlife, domesticated livestock, and human being. For that, for you to know about that, we need to know the basic data. So in our country, we have about 7 lakh, more than 7 lakh square kilometer area. Our country has got more than 7 lakh square kilometer area as forested area, wooded area. And with regard to Tamil Nadu, it is about 22,000 square kilometer area. So 22,000 square kilometer area is under the forest cover. So all along the forest boundaries, we will have the interface. Next. These basic details are very important for you, because increasingly we face, or we are called to address, to intervene wildlife, particularly the elephants. So now we all know that, but still we need to know the population in our country. We know that our country has got about 138 crore. This is as on 2019. Probably we would have now touching 140 crores. Tamil Nadu has got about 7.6, 7.5 crore population. Okay, that is our land area is 130 square kilometer area, and our country's land area is 29 lakh square kilometer area. And our livestock population, it is 535 million. The whole country has got about 535 million of livestock, excluding dogs, cats, and our poultry. Tamil Nadu, the details I have given now, the cattle, it is about 5.8 million, sheep and goat, 4.8 and 8, about 13 million, and poultry about 120 million stock. See, our country and state catering to the needs of such a population. This is apart from the wildlife population. Next. This is again the breakup details of the livestock population. Next. Now I will come to the I love to, and I also wish to congratulate you all, the young veterinarians from both Madras Veterinary College and Namakkal Veterinary College, and the other participants, that you have chosen one of the best professions. You can see Dr. Shankar sir, Dr. John Kripagar sir, and me. We have always felt very happy to be a veterinarian, to be called as a veterinarian. So you have chosen a very noble profession, and our profession is, I'll tell you, one of the oldest profession. You can see from the history. See, ancient records show that in 2350 BC, before Christ, veterinary science was known. As it is mentioned here in the history, Hayagosha is considered to be the founder of veterinary science. If you look at the history, then your love, your passion, your compassion for the profession will go up. That is why I put this thing. We all should know that. Veterinary, it is derived from Latin, and it is the main objective of the veterinarian is to protect. See, this is centuries ago, thousands of centuries ago, people have mentioned that to take care of health and well-being of both animals and people. So our role is multivarious. So the main role is treating diseases, disorders, injuries, and of non-human animals. This you would have been taught in our college and in all our colleges by our renowned professors. But still, your role also jumps over to other things like public health, food safety practices, prevention of zoonosis. What is a zoonosis? Zoonotic disease is one which jumps from human being to animal, vice versa. And then now you have roles in pharmaceutical companies, livestock production technologies, food companies, dairy industries. In all fields, the veterinarian play a major role and successful role. Apart from your civil services and so many other fields, the veterinarian shine. These are some of the fields you have your future stepped in. The first veterinary college is formed in France, Lyon, 1762. So our profession is one of the oldest profession. We should always feel proud about it. Next. Now, with that small introduction about the human, our country's livestock wealth, and then the veterinary background, veterinary profession background, veterinarian's importance, I will come back. I will come now to elephants. Before I speak about human-elephant conflict, we need to know something about elephants. You are all young veterinarians. You are just getting exposed to elephants. You would have definitely, with the advance of technology, you would have seen in mobiles, nets, YouTubes, in so many other things, elephants. But as a veterinarian, you would be the only person to touch and handle the elephants. So we need to know, apart from our mythical consideration or our virtual thing, actually what is elephant and how we have to understand elephant so that you deal them, you manage them in a better way. So this is a small introduction about the evolution of elephant. Mori, don't worry about the names, but this is the evolution of elephant. What you see today, the Asian and African elephants evolved from these parents: Morythrium, Platyblodon, Dinotherium, Mastodon, Triflodon, Mammoth. Don't think that these are all scripts only. They are all actuals. Mammoth, of course, we had the fossils of mammoth which were found in Siberia. We had still the skeleton of mammoth is there in Russia. They have kept the skeletons. So this is how the present day elephants ancestors were. Next. Now we are left with only two species of elephants on the earth. One is our African elephants. The other is the Asian elephants. You all know the basic differences, but still I would like to say that the important differences are because of the landscape in which they live, because of the areas they live, because of the forest they live. There are slight phenotypical changes in their characters. Phenotypical changes in phenotypical characters are observed. Changes in phenotypical characters are observed. You find the upper thing is your African elephants, the lower photos showing the Asian elephants. They have large ears because they live in a tropical area which is hot compared to our Asian conditions is hot. So they have a large ear. Why they have a large ear, we will discuss later. And both male and female will have tusks. Whereas here the males will have tusk, females will have tush, Tush. The nails, if you find in African elephants, it is 4 plus 3, 4 in the forelegs, 3 in the hind legs. In Asian elephants, it is 5 and 4, 5 in the forelegs and 4 in the hind legs. And then you see a dip on the back and the vertebral column. There is a dip in the African elephants, whereas it is curved up. It is convex in the Asian elephants. And then these are the major differences. And then the trunk tip, the fusion of your nostrils and upper lip is called a trunk. The trunk will have 2 fingers. You can find there are 2 fingers in the African elephants, and there is only 1 finger. One small projection will be there. That's called finger. 1 finger in the Asian elephants. These are the major differences. Though there are other small differences, but this for you to know the basic differences. Next. Now we need to know the basic physiological parameter in Asian elephants. When you are approaching, when you are seeing, when you are supposed to deal with an elephant, we need to know the basic parameters, physiological parameters. So kindly carefully go through and carefully observe the temperatures, the parameters. Temperature, the body temperature of an elephant is 35.9 degrees centigrade, much lower than ours. And then this you have to compare with the other, the regular day temperature, our tropical temperature, average tropical temperature, tropical conditions. We have to always compare because elephants do not have sweat glands. So if they want to maintain temperature like us, they cannot sweat and they cannot regulate their temperature. So for them to regulate the temperature, for thermoregulation, they have to use the ears, or they have to go and stand below a shady tree, or they have to put sand, or they have to sprinkle water. So body temperature, you would always remember, because in many situations, veterinarian will face an elephant in a road, an elephant in a temple, an elephant in a crowd, an elephant outside the forest area. When you are observing an elephant, they may be in a scorching sun. You have to first remember that first thing would be to give the elephant the comfort. For that, you need to know the temperature of the elephant. Next, respiration, that you have to observe. While standing, it is 10, while on recumbency, it is only 5. So that gives a lot of benefits. I will not tell you more because you are from renowned veterinary colleges. What is the importance of respiration? And if there is more if they are going to respire more, what are the conditions in which they respire? Like these elephants also, if they are stressed, then maybe they may be panting. So this is the basic number we have to know. Then pulse. Pulse while standing it is 28, whereas while it is lying down it is 35. But it may not be possible always for you to go and check the pulse in the ear because you'll be standing close and near to the elephant. It may not be, many times it may not be possible, but then you need to know with the support of the mahout, support of the elephant man, you can go near the observe, and in the ear, behind the ear, in the artery, you can take the pulse. Dung. In a ideal situation, in a good forested area, they will defecate 8 to 10 times a day. That is very important for you to record because if there is something wrong with the gastrointestinal system, it may go up or it may come down. Either it may be constipating or it may be going for diarrhea. So this is the normal defecation rate, 8 to 10 times under ideal conditions. Likewise, urine 10 to 15 times they will urinate in a day. Like us, their age of maturity for male and female is about between 12 and 15 years. They attain maturity. When they are born, when a new elephant, when a baby elephant is born, they stand 90 to 100 centimeters tall actually at the time of birth itself. Okay. Then walking speed, they walk about 6 kilometers per hour. And then if they sprint, if they run, it is about 30 to 40 kilometers, 30 to 35 kilometers per hour they can run. And can you just imagine at what speed you can run? I will give you a small calculation. You can calculate and tell your professors later. See, John Bolt, one of the fastest sprinters, human sprinter, he covers 100 meters in say less than 10 seconds. Even if you just assume that he crosses 100 meters in 10 seconds, that is each second 10 meters he covers. To convert that into kilometers per hour, what speed you can just imagine. Elephants can run faster than Bolt in the forest area. So we cannot overtake or we cannot run in front of an elephant. So you have to always remember, being a big animal, largest land living mammal, we may think that they may not be able to run fast, but they can, as I told you, they can run faster than even Bolt. 30-40 kilometers, we may not be able to run at all. And then forages, they may require about 150 to 250 kgs per day. To get that 150 kgs of fodder in the forest area, they may have to bring down about 300 to 350 kilos of forages. So because not every part is edible. So to get 150 to 200 to 250 kilos of fodder per day for me, I may have to bring down about 300 to 250 kilos of fodder so that I eat about that. For that, they may have to wander far and wide in the forest area. Correct? To get about that quantum of, and we all know that they live in herds. You see in the picture, they live in herds. So every elephant may require that amount of fodder. It may not be available at one place. So they need to wander far and wide every day. As mentioned there, every day they walk about 30 to 40 kilometers per day. They may have to walk to get that amount of water and that amount of forage. Next. As I told you, elephants are pachyderms. Pachyderm means thick-skinned animal. So that you have to always remember. And the color, it is gray, dark gray. It's a dark gray in color. Their color is dark gray. These things are very important because since they are thick-skinned, heat dissipation will be very slow. Minimum dissipation will be taking place. And the color is also dark. So they will absorb also heat. So it is very important for you to remember this. If you are observing elephant outside the forest area, giving it the right ambience is very, very important. So if it is not that, then it may become irritable. That you will always remember. And unlike other mammals, they have very few sweat glands. Very few. You will never find an elephant sweating. We have observed very, very, very little or very poor sweating in trunk tip, as you are seeing in the trunk tip, or at the cuticle area, just above the nail, you will find some moisture. That's all. But which cannot match the body size of an elephant. So the almost I will say sweat glands are absent. their sense of smell, where they have very keen sense of smell. 3-4 kilometers, they can smell. Kindly understand, 3-4 kilometers away, what is happening, what is available, they can smell. That is how they migrate for getting food or seeing a mate. In fact, records show that a bull can smell a cow in estrus 5 kilometers away. 5 kilometers away. Likewise, where is a water source, they can observe 3-4 kilometers away by the sense of smell. The moisture, everything they can smell. They have very keen sense of smell. They also observe human being, and their memory is very, very, they have very good memory. Like dogs, I would say more than even dogs. So once they smell a person and then keep it, they will keep it forever. So you do good, they will, they see you, they understand you, they smell you, and they keep in their memory for a long time. So that aspect, that memory, intelligence, you got to always remember, they're highly intelligent animal. They have very good memory. And trunk, I have just shown you the right side slide is the trunk. See, trunk, it is completely a muscular structure. There is no bone at all. Trunk is the fusion of upper lip and nostrils. So they don't have a separate nostril. They don't have a separate lip, upper lip. So it is the fusion of upper lip and the nostrils. So it is a very versatile organ, completely muscle, made up of about a lakh muscle, both longitudinal and horizontal muscles. There are about a lakh muscles. If they tighten, it will be tougher than it will be stronger than a teak or a rosewood. It will be very, 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 very strong organ, very versatile organ. It is the organ for respiration. It is an organ for drinking water. It is the organ for prehension. It is an organ for defense. So very, very important organ. Next. Eye. So the eye of an elephant will be honey colored. So that is the eye of the thing. And as I told you earlier, ear. So ear, they have a large ear, highly mobile, highly versatile organ again. Mobile, it can always wave and move, fanning. The fanning activity is very important for elephant for thermoregulation. That is the only way they can regulate. Each swing, each fanning activity, we have, there are so many records. We have also seen 1 degree centigrade will be varying. Body temperature in each fan, 1 degree centigrade will come down. So they will constantly fan and then keep the body temperature at optimum level. So these factors are very important when you are going in for sedation, because they may not be able to fan the ear. That is why I'm repeatedly telling. So these are the things which you need to keep in mind and also observe during your intervention of an elephant. And that is also an organ through which you can understand the age also. Next. And infrasonic sound, I have put. Infrasonic sound is which is audible to elephants, which we may not be able to hear. And we have seen when they dip in the water, when they dip in a still water in a pond or a lake, when they go down up to the place adjoining the ears, now in between the eyes, the frontal bump area here, the frontal bump area, they go down, you will see waves of water will be going. So infrasonic, the waves, the communication, the trunk will be on the top, and then they communicate. So there will be waves of water. It will be still water, but when they sink up to that level, you will find the waves, indicating that they are infrasonically communicating with each other, which is not audible to human ears. Next, dentition. They have very unique dentition. Elephants have got a very unique dentition. So we all know that they are herbivorous animal, so they don't have canines. They don't have canines. Incisors, yes, they have incisors, but it is modified. The incisor modified into tusk in males, tushes in the female. And see, they have how many tooth they have? They don't have premolar also. So they have incisors, correct? They have incisors, and then they have only the molars. The molars are replaced 6 times during their lifetime. It is unlike we have a milk tooth and permanent tooth. They don't have a dentition like that. So their dental formula is, it is incisors 1, 1, 2, canines absent, premolar absent, molar 6/6. One side 6/6. The other side 6/6. Totally. All the 6 you will not find at one go. They are constantly replaced. Unlike other mammals, unlike other dentition, molars do not come from below the jaw to upper side. They come from behind to forward. So it is moving forward. It is constantly on the move. Every molar is made up of pillars. So many pillars. You are seeing the ridges, na? You can see. You would have seen. Or from the wildlife department, I think I remember Dr. Sri Kumar sir also keeping the molars. You can go and see it. It is made up of plates or ridges. The number of plates and ridges will give you the correct indication of the age. That is the only way you find out the correct age of the limit. Or in the wilderness or in captivity, you can assess the age. You may not be able to see the molar ridges. By opening mouth, it may not be possible. You cannot open a mouth of an elephant. It is very tough. Also dangerous. They can, as you know, it's the largest mammal, and any small move will be dangerous to us. The strength wise, they have every movement is very strong. Will be very strong, which we may not be able to bear. So you can compare the ear fold, depigmentation, skin wrinkles, nail, all those things you can observe, and then you will come to approximate age. You can fix the age with 5 years difference, like 15 to 20 years, 20 to 25, like that we can always fix. But this is a unique dentition. It is the molars are replaced 6 times. This formula I will give it to professors. You can go through and carefully, whenever you find time, you can spend time on dental formula. Next. As I told you, they have their hair is with you, unlike in other mammals where their coat is thick. They have a thick coat of hair. Whether you take any animal for that matter, whether it's cattle or carnivore, herbivore, carnivore, any animal, rabbit, anything, you will find a thick coat of hair. Whereas in elephants, you will find it is very sparsely present, very sparsely present, and also spaced. It's not thickly coated. So it also gives an indication that they have evolved from water. All the parents also, if you see the ancestors, you find they have all lived along the water courses. Thick skin, sparse hair, testigonda. Here on the right side, you're seeing that testis. You will sometimes people will search for a male. There are males which do not have tusk, like maknas. We say they are called as maknas. Maknas do not have tusk, so it may look like a female. So people maybe sometimes people search for testicles in males. You will not find testicles outside the body in bulls, in bull elephants. It is intra-abdominal, or the condition you also say is testigonda. The condition is also known as testigonda. Means the testis is intra-abdominal. So intra-abdominal testis, thick skin, less hair, and your pleural attachment. All these things indicate that these are all similar to whales also. The similar condition you will also find in whales. So whales also have the same phenomenon. So elephants have evolved from, these are some of the scientific indications showing that they have evolved from water, or they have more dependence on water, or they live along the, even today you find they live along the water. Mostly they will live along the water courses only. So these important basic biological parameters you have to always remember. Next. So as I told you earlier, lung. By this time you all would have undergone anatomy, physiology, all those things. I think some of you would have also undergone pathology. So postmortem you would have seen. You would have found that lung is in the thoracic cavity. Lung is hanging in the thoracic cavity. Whereas in elephants, you will find that the parietal part of the pleura is attached to the visceral part of the ribs. The pleura is attached to the rib. The parietal part of the, I will once again repeat, the parietal part of the pleura will be attached to the visceral part of the rib. So the lung movement is also influenced by the movement of the ribs. That is why when they lie in the sternal recumbency, in case they lie on sternal recumbency, it is very dangerous for the animal because ribs cannot move. So inspiration, expiration will be difficult for the animal. They may be choked to death. So lateral recumbency is always better for the animal. This you have to remember when you are intervening and managing an elephant. So the pleura is attached. A similar condition you will also find in whales. And they have got a special feet. You are seeing the feet. I will always say that foot is the second heart of elephant. In nature, I have told previously that elephants have to migrate far and wide to meet their daily requirement of fodder and water. And they use different terrains. No, it is not always plain terrain. They will climb up hills. They have to walk on slush. They will walk on sandy dunes. They will be walking on grasses, tall grasses, slippery paths. Many terrains they'll be walking. Rocky terrains, many terrains they'll be walking. So feet is very important. So the feet is there in such a way. The grip, they will have grip in all types of surfaces. Serrations, you can find the serrations and the marks on the foot will show you the clear indication that they can use their foot and feet on every surface on the earth. And fingers are fused. All the fingers are fused. You will not find a individual fingers. Fingers are fused, but they have fingers, very short fingers. The nails you find, five, as I told you, 5 in the front and 4 in the back. 5 nails in the foreleg, four nails in the hind leg. Fingers are fused, but they have fingers. They can move. The nails they can move for getting grip. So these thing is very important, because while you are tracking an elephant, when you are into the forest area tracking an elephant, when you find a footprint, from the footprint you will be able to understand in which direction they have moved, what could be the approximate age. From the size you will know what could be the approximate height. Normally the circumference of the right or left 4 feet into 2. Circumference of the 4 feet of right or leg into 2 will give near approximate height at shoulder joint. Approximate height of the elephant at shoulder joint. So these small calculations, small assessments are very important when you are, as I told you, when you are interviewing elephant, because many times you may not be able to exactly assess the body condition, height, weight to compute a dosage. So these are the basic parameters which you got to always remember. Then tail, you're seeing a tail with the tuft. I'm going little fast because I have been given 1 hour of time. Time is already this thing, so I'm going a little fast. I will stop. You can also stop me, and then you can put it in chat box or some other dates, which I'll be able to clarify at the end. So tail tuft you are seeing, tail tuft it is the hair or bristles are very tough. It's very important because, as I told you, the skin is barren. Skin is bare. The skin is barely exposed. So ectoparasites, flies, fleas, mite, mange, and ticks will be biting them. So they rub their body. They go and choose. I have seen they use the trees, crocodilian bark. There are trees which are called as crocodile bark trees, and also they go and rub their body on the thing, or they use the tail to wade away the ectoparasites, or they put sand also. They put sand, slush, or water to get rid of the ectoparasite. Next. Yeah, this is the type of diet they have. You can see they eat about 170. I am talking about in the free ranging condition. In free ranging condition, they consume more than 175 species of trees. No, they almost eat all the 3 types of vegetation. 3 types means grasses. They browse and also they graze. Grazing is the grass and other thing they'll be grazing. Browsing means from the tree fodder. They'll be consuming from the trees also. So both grazing and browsing. More than 175 species are known to be consumed by elephants. Some of the examples I have given. Yeah. These are the wild trees which are available for them. Next. Yeah, they eat almost all parts of the plant. Almost all parts, fruits, stems, roots, barks, leaves, flowers, everything they will eat. I have seen even தொட்டாச்சினிங்கன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லைங்களா, டச் மீ நாட். அது என்ன சொல்லுங்க பொட்டானிக்கல் நேம்? மைமோசா புடிக்கா. மைமோசா புடிக்கா is the botanical name. தொட்டாச்சினிங்கன்னு தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவாங்க. Touch me not. That flower will be less than 1 milligram weight. But they are so fascinated, they will go on collect during a particular season. Immediately after rainy season, you will find lot of blossoming. You will see they will collect everything. It will not weigh more than 50 or 100 grams, but then meticulously they will collect and then they eat. They love to have variety of what they love to eat that. Next. Yeah, this is the population. I'm going a little fast because I am left with only 15 or 20 minutes more. 11:59 actually.
10:45.
Okay. So this is the population. So Tamil Nadu, we have about 2,700 to 2,800 number of elephants. In the whole of Asia, we have about 50,000 elephants, and then India accounts for more than 50%. 60% of the elephants in South Asia or in Asian countries found in our country. Among that, you see more than one third is found in South India, and we have about in the one third of elephants are found in Tamil Nadu. So Tamil Nadu is an important state with regard to elephant population in the world. As far as Asian elephants are concerned, Tamil Nadu is an important state, I will say, connecting between Karnataka and Kerala also. Karnataka, Kerala, and Andhra also. Next. So veterinarians play a major role. I will say veterinarians play a unique role, I will say. Unique role as far as elephant conservation is concerned. This I have already told. They are all matriarchal in nature. Elephants are, their matriarch means elephant herds are led by a senior most female. That is called matriarch. So they do a lot of job, which we can see later also. This is a kind of theory because mentoring and guiding is very, very important. Today you see conflicting situation or negative interactions because we have found during our field exercises in the practically our staff, forest department staff and the animal husbandry staff, we have seen that those elephants which are coming outside the forest area are without any proper mentor. Young males and females, young males and herds of young females are only found outside the forest area. They are not properly guided or they don't have proper mentor. So a senior matriarch or a guide or a mentor is very, very important for leading a natural, normal, peaceful life in the forest area. So the role of matriarch is very, very important, which we need to understand. Next. Yeah. So they are called herds. They live in herds. Next. So there's clan. The herds sometimes once in a year or once in 2 years, many herds will join together. That is called clan. Clan is defined as group of elephants, or group means different herds will join together. You will find in backwaters area of Bhavani Sagar, Tamil Nadu. If you see in Bhavani Sagar area, at one point of time, say like April, May, if you see, I have seen 150 to 250 elephants at one go. In Kabini, there are records which show that 800 to 1,000 elephants come together, and one herd will mingle with the herd from some other area, and then while departing, again they will all separate and then go in their own way, clearly indicating that genetic connectivity between them. Among the herds, they will run and they will find one particular animal somewhere, and then they will mingle with them. They will entwine themselves. They pass pleasantries. They show their love, and then they separate at the time of separation. So clearly indicating that all these animals are connected to each other and then separated or living in different locations as of now. So that is the clan formation gives us an insight into the elephant life in the wilderness. Next. Must is an important factor. I will tell you, must is a very, very important factor. It is found only in elephants. It is we all know that you find must in elephant bulls alone. Cows also show hyperactivity. We say they also undergo the condition called must, but it is more pronounced in males. It is a unique feature we see in elephants. It is a healthy sign. It is a normal physiological phenomenon. You find it in a matured males. So as I mentioned here, it is a periodical condition occur every year. In a healthy bull, it occurs in a particular time, particular month. It will just occur, and normally it shows the health of the animal at the when they are at the peak of their health. You can just understand the lifestyle. Southwest monsoon will be there. There will be copious rain. Lot of fodder will be available. Southwest monsoon normally sets in by May end or June. So June, July, there will be good rains. So there will be good fodder available to them. Water sources also will be more. So they need not strain. They need not wander far and wide to meet their daily requirement. So within a short range, within a small range, they'll be able to get good fodder. So they built up weight. So they'll be at peak of their health by September, October. Southwest monsoon ends, and then there will be a period of lull. Vasanta Kalam solluvom. So a period of lull will be there in September, October. Then again, northeast monsoon will be there. where there will be chillness. So that onset during that time, the animals will be in the peak of their health, and then the hormone level, body condition will be in the peak. Hormone level also goes up, and then the males show the must, signs of must. Must is a normal sign, so they'll be seeking the company. It is not very aggressive, or we need not mistake it that must bull should be very aggressive, they'll be very angry. It's not like that. Must bull will be very active. Must bull is a sign of healthiness. They will be more interested to seek the company of a mate. They'll be in search of a mate. The libido will be more. That is the clear indication, and it is also a sign of health in the males. Next time. So that is the, you can see the, from the secretion, we will be able to understand whether the must is not a single condition like estrus in our cattle. Must you see in pre-must, mid-must, and post-must. Major classification. Pre-must, early must, mid-must, post-must, non-must, we have to understand, because in captive condition, we have to understand this thing. They will, once the signs of must coming up, it is not that before the onset of must, you will not get the copious secretion. The secretion is from the temporal gland. That area is called temporal gland. You have a temporal gland, there is a temporal depression. In the temporal depression will be swollen, and then there will be secretion starts dribbling. So once that secretion starts dribbling, we will come to understand that they're entering into must. We have to be cautious. I'm telling in captive condition. So the Magut and Kavadi will be cautious. Doctor, if is going to approach, he'll be very, very cautious to approach the animal. He may be suddenly, he'll be in a very active condition, he'll be hyperactive, and so he may suddenly react to a condition. So we need to be cautious. And even in the wilderness, you will find that smell. Must bull will be dribbling urine very often, and then they'll be separate. They'll be rubbing the the sides of the face on different trees to get the secretion flow down freely. They'll be goring the softer areas to get the they will just gore the mudded area, sandy area, so that it presses and then the secretion comes down fully. So the smell will be very strong, smell will be there. Females will be attracted. Mostly the females will be attracted, but it normally gives a smell of a gunpowder smell. A gunpowder smell or a poultry dropping smell will be there. It also a combination of jasmine smell. All these combination will be there. So females will be attracted. So it is a normal healthy sign, and mating takes place normally with. Next. Yeah, must. We'll go. Video ஒன்று இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா? கடைசியில் போட்டுக்கலாம். Yeah. So these are the signs. Normally, it is not that they're very aggressive, though I have put that, but they can become aggressive. Once they're, once they're hooked, they become very aggressive because they are in a particular mood. So when they're deprived of that, they become very aggressive. Even the recent capture that we will see little later. Yeah. So this is I have just completed shortly just about a picture about the background of elephants. Various things I have told. What is elephant and what is your role, and then the important biological phenomenon which is unique to that. Now we will come to the human-elephant negative interaction. This is what I have told you is the basic biology and the background about elephant. Now we see this elephant. It is in Coimbatore. You see there, it is walking in a broad daylight in a street, in a road, which is not a welcome sign. This is a wild bull. So nobody say it may look good, but then nobody will welcome this kind of an activity. But why it is negative? Why there is negative interaction? It is not that a day or a week's activity put these elephants into roads or their negative interaction with human being. So many activities, so many anthropogenic, that is human-centered activities only have led to the present day negative interaction of humans with elephants particularly. The other picture you see, in the forest fringe area, close to forest fringe area, you have vegetable cultivation and cholam. Elephant herds come and the calf is separated. People surrounding and trying to drive that into a forest area. It will be confused because the mother is not there, matriarch is not there. It will be confused. People also will be wanting the elephant to go in a particular direction. So there is a negative interaction. The veterinarian will be called to deal the situation. Next. So these are all negative situations. Sometimes humans get killed. In the tea estate, this labor was coming down. Suddenly elephant came. So It was a very unfortunate event. And then left side, there is a captive elephant actually. So the Mahout, he has not, see, you can see the bull is in must. So must bulls, they can suddenly, they can behave differently. So the Mahout actually is getting killed. Next. Now this you have to understand. Negative interaction I'm telling, but it is particularly, it is conflict. It is a conflicting situation. What is a conflicting situation? See, it is a, though I have put like philosophical words I have put. It is the incompatibility between opinion and principle. What is good for an elephant may not be good for human being. So their needs and our needs are different. So there is a conflict of interest, conflict of opinion, conflict of principles are there. So that is how negative interactions taking place. Next. So the basic reasons I'm going to just point out what are the basic reasons why the present day wildlife, in particular the elephants, are in negative contraction. Habitat loss. What is habitat? Their home ranges. Where do they live? As I told you, they live in a forest area. They need about 150 to 200 kilos of water, 150 to 200 liters of water, 150 to 200 kilos of forages, and they eat all three types of forages. They eat about once all these things I have told you, and they need far and away places. Their gestation period is 22 months, and then they live in herds. They require so much of feed. They need so much of space to move around. It's a big mammal. So habitat loss, their home ranges are lost now. Degradation, wherever they live, the forest is degraded due to so many reasons. We all know that. It may be lack of rain, it may be fragmentation. Due to fragmentation is what the forests are fragmented. Maybe due to our own roads, maybe due to our own railway lines, maybe due to dams, all these things, which we will see. Loss of corridor and connectivity. See, normally, as I told you, they migrate about, they for daily requirement, they move about 20 to 25 square kilometer area. For long-term need, they may wander about 125 to 250 square kilometer area. Elephant herd comprising of 5 to 6 elephants, a matriarch, juveniles, females, calves, all these animal may require 150 to 250 square kilometer area annually to meet their all requirements: water, food, salt, breeding, taking care of young and everything. So if they have to move from one forest area to next area, to move from one forest area to next area, there has to be a corridor. There has to be a connectivity. If that is lost, then they will be stranded in a particular area. Okay, so that is those corridors are lost. I'm talking about throughout the country. I'm traveling throughout the country. I've been visiting different states in our country, different countries also. I have seen that everywhere the same problem: more humans, more anthropogenic activity. So the loss of habitat, degradation, fragmentation, corridor connectivity. This the veterinarian also should know for them to have negative interaction. Why they have negative interaction? You have to know all these things. And then other activities like agricultural practices close to forest area. If you have sugar cane, paddy, maize, coconut, areca nut, banana, if we have all these things, once they don't have anything, then they come to the boundary of the forest. When they find all tasty and sumptuous food is available outside the forest area, they're likely to venture out. So that is how the conflict also begins, or the negative interactions begin. So the agricultural practices along the forest fringe areas, land use pattern, landscape changes. Land use pattern means how they were using the land. Previously, there was buffer zones. Apart from the forest area, there will be a buffer zone for about 30, 40, 50 meters to 150 meters. There will be a buffer zone. Buffer zone means there won't be any activity. Forest will end, and then next 150 meters there won't be any activity. And then from there you will have Meikal Puramboku, Mandai Puramboku, Meikal Puramboku for the livestock to use. Then they will have the villages. That is how the previous setup. Now we have moved up to the forest fringe area. The land is being used differently. So there are also landscape changes, highways, railway lines, and we find a lot of education institutions, places of worship like temples, big temple. I don't want to name anything, but there are education institutions, places of worship. I'm talking about throughout the country. It is not in particular area, particular place. Resorts, quarrying, mining, next, and construction of irrigation dams, reservoirs, and we have associated canals, hydroelectric projects, industrial activity sometimes, all these things are main reasons for the elephants to lose their habitat, and they have to come to the boundary and they have to venture out into the area which once were available to them. Now it is not available to them. That is why negative interactions are taking place. Also, there are invasive species like lantana, epatorium, your all these weeds. They also enter into the forest area, occupy the natural space, dividing them or denuding them of their naturally available forages and water. And then various other anthropogenic activities. Maybe our tourism activity also may be one of the reasons why there is a space crunch or time crunch for these animals to live naturally in the forest area. Next, these are some of the pictures I can show you. All along, these are all along the forest areas. In our own country, you will find forest, and then adjoining the forest area, you will find plantations, and then see sand mining, converting the forest area into tea, coffee, cardamom, rubber plantations. Okay, inside the forest, you will find all these plantations. How they will move? They may not be able to move. They may not be able to consume these plants also. So they will be constrained to eat what is available, or they will be forced to come out of the forest area to consume what is available outside the forest area. Next. So these are all different activities. You see, coal. This is the left side is your coal. Right side is your quarry, your sand quarry or bricklins, where we just dig sands to make bricks, gold mines, so many things, all along the forest areas. Next, you make a pit. What happens? It is not only that you are blocking the ways of the elephant, but also water sources. Water also comes out. See, southwest monsoon, northeast monsoon, fine. It is all raining. But from January onwards, from December end to May, June, there won't be any rain. So if the forest is good there, then they will hold the water and slowly release so that the water will be available throughout the year. But you have some huge structures close to the forest area. When you have intense activity, intensive agricultural practices, intensive educational activities, or intensive industrial activity, you will draw water. So quickly the forest gets dries up. So there won't be water available for them throughout the year. It is not only elephant. The same habitat is shared by other herbivores also. So making the life difficult for the elephants and other wild animals, so they come out. So you see, find adjoining the forest area, you are seeing the elephants in paddy field, banana field, and they have to walk. See, along the tea bush, nothing is there. They're simply walking. Next. See, you will find these are all negative interactions. It's not elsewhere. It is in our own country. See, they will come out and then people will complain. So I am growing maize and sugarcane. Instead, my mistake. It is patta land. I am growing. Elephants are coming. You have to you have to deal the elephant. So that's how you would be called. The veterinarian will be called, and then to translocate or to capture. Sometimes when they become too problematic, nothing is working out, then we may have to intervene elephant for that. Next. Yeah, these are good of seeds. See here, I was telling you, elephants, so when you have, when we, these are all important also. See, we cannot say development should not be there. Then you can just ask me, sir, are you saying that there should not be development? No, there has to be development, but development has to be in tune. Development is at cost of what? That is very important. It is time that we have to think that development at what cost. You may say, what is an elephant is lost? It is not that way. See, you can just think all these forests were made by whom? It is not by our forefathers. You can just think. You can just think whatever forest is available today, whether it is Nanamalai Tiger Reserve or Mudumalai or Bandipur or Meghamalai, Kanyakumari, wherever throughout the country, Himalayas, Western Ghats, the entire stretch of Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, Shivalik Hills, whichever is the forest, nothing was made by us, you and me, or our forefathers. It is all naturally seeded, naturally grown, naturally protected by the elephants, birds, bees, butterflies, so on and so forth. Now you are denuding it, you are cutting it, you are clearing it. Suddenly you are clearing it and then making some other plantation, some other cultivation, leaving them no chance to recover. Forest recovery is very, very slow. To get it grown to the tree takes very long time here. If you just seed a mango tree or a jack tree or a guava seed in a forest area, immediately a jungle fowl will come and eat. A hare will come and eat. A deer will come and eat. A gaur will eat. elephant will eat. So getting a seed to tree is a Herculean task in a forest area. There are so many things which will consume that. So these forests were made millions of years ago, thousands of years ago, lakhs of years ago. Now that is lost. And then for our own development, we are having a railway line. That also has to be there. But then we need to be sustainable and viable. Our option should be sustainable and viable so that you also develop, the other living creatures also get developed. So this, you see, the mother will be able to cross the railway line. So already one has crossed. The mother is standing. Calf may not be able to cross. The mother will be waiting for the calf to cross. A driver or a railway train driver or a train may not know that such thing is happening. So there can be accidents. So this we have to keep in mind, and we have to intervene and give suitable solutions to all of them. Next. See, when they are forced, they can also cross the EPT. They see they take risk. They take risk to cross the EPTs also. Because they need to, they come out to the forest to have food. It is their need. I am seeing food just opposite me, and you have a trench in between. So they will just take the risk to come out of the forest area, and there will be negative interaction. See how much risk people are taking. You can just see, if they charge, nobody can escape, but they're gentle. That's why elephants are known as gentle giants. They're very casually standing. As I told you, if they run, if they sprint, and if they intend to attack, you can just imagine anybody can escape. Nobody can escape. Next, their intention is not to kill anybody actually, but when they're forced, they may move to, in a self-defense. Any action by them will be deleterious to us. So in a must condition, or a bull, if it is provoked, can the strength is incomparable. I would say they can even topple trucks. It's only a jeep. They can even topple trucks. Yeah. Next. Sometimes, many times, they also lose their life. Of course, it is sad that people lose their life in interactions, but animals also lose the life. Railway accidents, bus hit, electrocution, and then poisoning, due to so many reasons. Once they come out of the forest, I'm telling, come out of the forest area due to various reasons. Most of the times it is anthropogenic activity. Next. Train accident. Yes. Next. So these are the this diagrammatic pictorial thing to explain you how conflict takes place. Next. Recently, we captured 2 or 3 acres ago. Our Dr. Shankar sir is there. He's not that. He is a very nice and gentleman. He's a good professor, I know. But it is not good that we name elephants, but somehow we name the elephants in remembrance of somebody or something like that. So this elephant is recently captured. You all might be knowing, in Gudalur area. Last week it was captured. We were there. So as a team, we went. See, such decisions to capture. All our efforts to put the elephant back to forest area failed because there was no forest at all. It was migrating between Gudalur area of Tamil Nadu to Wayanad area of Kerala. It was a small area, so 8-12 kilometers in between, a large forest area, about 30-40 square kilometers it was covering. But then it has to cover in between a lot of tea estates, coffee estates, and then roads. Everything was there. Limited forest area, so it was always visible. Unfortunately, there were encounters, and he accounted for 3 kills. A son and father and a tourist, young woman was also killed. So there was no other go. He was captured and put it into kraal. That is a big topic which we can discuss later. But during such time, the veterinarian will be called, and then you may have to tranquilize the animal so that it is chemically captured and then transported and put it to the kraal for training, and then making him as a camp elephant, captive elephant. Yeah. Next. The various process of capturing. Next. This is the kraal. Probably due to paucity of time, I will go a little fast. Maybe tranquilization, physical restraining, tethering, transportation, crawling, training. We will take it up in summer class if professor and coordinator sir agrees. Next. This is another operation wherein we may have to. The tranquilization மட்டும் வேணா போடுங்க. இதுக்கு வருமா அது? கீழே tranquilization வராதுங்களா?
ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிட்டு நியூவா ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க.
Okay, அது வேணா போடுங்க. See, I'll just show you one video. Sometimes there may be injury. So this elephant, you might be knowing, this elephant was the one which was doctor's team. These are all doctor's team. So we are going and we have to go. So, what? So you see this kind of bush and small risk sometimes you may have to take. So this elephant is unaware of our presence, and we may have to dart and then capture the elephant for doing operations. There was a wound in the elephant, so we were you can see I'm not able to dart the elephant. We have to run also. Not that every time you get an opportunity. Documentation also very difficult. Only in few occasions you'll be able to dart it. Documentation you can see. I'll keep quiet. You will now see. Yeah, the animal is darted now. So then you may have to run. The animal did not see us, but then it was charging that side, and then it was charging us. So we ran away. After the documentation would not be possible because we have to run for life. Your documentation is documentation. Then if you do a very particular documentation, then there is no guarantee for other things. அடுத்த video can I show one or two videos of capturing, and so that then I will come back to this thing. See, doctor will be sitting on that black shed is the doctor, and then you are sitting on the kumki. The one which is coming in the front is the one which was captured. See, paddy field, sugarcane field, water body. The other side you see people, a typical interaction which is negative. Nobody will want a wild elephant to be there. You see, the paddy field is eaten by our own kumkis also. Kumkis also enjoying the paddy. The wild bull is also enjoying the paddy. The farmer, see, our kumkis, trained kumkis, how gently is helping the wild bull to come over, cross over, because he is under sedation. You see, the penis is hanging because of the xylazine, which is a muscle relaxant. Ketamine xylazine. Xylazine is a muscle relaxant. So every muscle, loosens and hangs. So it is guided. This is how a capture operation will be there. So you will be sitting on top of an elephant. The black banyan fellow is the doctor. So that is over. This is another operation. This is how in an area where you will be driving an elephant, and then you will be doing capture operation. Every time it may not be the same type like what I was doing. One more video I was showing, where it was a comparatively a simple operation, but many things will not be. See, this is Chinnathambi. This elephant is known as Chinnathambi. We should not, as I told you, we should not name it. See, that is a good dot actually. On the rump area you have dotted, but this Chinnathambi is an already company with a female elephant and another small female. They are protecting it. We are trying to approach the elephant, but you are taking a lot of risk. There is an operation, this is another operation, wherein elephant fell into a well. From the well, the animal has to be rescued. So our kumki, you see, our kumki went down. Kalim actually is Kalim. There's an elephant by name Kalim. He is going down. They are making ramp, but this elephant was not able to come up. And there will be huge crowd, all these police, forest, fire, everybody will be there. This man, we are doing, the doctor is giving instruction to the elephant to go down and bring the elephant back. So Kalim goes in, gives comfort to the female, and then he is bringing the elephant back to the forest. See, you will see, the elephant is not able. This is the female which fell into the well actually. So it was not able to come up. So you can see Kalim is going down with a rope, and then it is pulling. The document is going to make and pulling, and then the elephant has come up. See, she will say thanks and go. See, she will stand there and say thanks, and then she goes away. This is a beautiful relationship. I will say it's a beautiful. She's standing close by. It does not do anything. Close by. You can come. So you found so for because there is lack of time, I could not show you completely, but then still you can understand what is happening. So these are the times where veterinarian is called. His role is very important. I'm repeatedly telling you, for the role to be successfully completed, we need to understand. We have to be more responsible. You also need to not only guide the elephant which is in trouble, and also the elephant which is in your control, and all people. So I tell you, you at the same time you will be doing multivarious roles actually. So that one I am repeatedly telling you. So already Dr. Shankar sir and coordinator sir, Dr. John Kripa told I have another 10 minutes left. So So this is another case wherein this case I'll just tell you. The one with the female which is lying down, the one fellow with banyan is the doctor actually. The another person is also doctor. That is me only. The banyan fellow is only me. So we are trying to help the animal. It is recumbent, not able to get up actually. So we were giving glucose and all. We were using kumki to make her stand up. She was not able to stand up. Next. So then it was mildly sedated and then put into a truck and taken to the camp. And then where she delivered a baby at the
Slide
bottom.
very well, sir.
You are able to see the slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So on the left bottom, you will find a calf. So she was pregnant and then she could not get up. So nutritional deficiency, calcium deficiency, she came to the boundary and she lay down. So many times I have seen that whenever these elephants suffer, either from gastrointestinal trouble or like nutritional deficiency or any trouble, they come to the boundary. Probably, I personally feel that humans are the saviors. They may feel that human being is the savior. They leave the forest and lie down. This elephant was lying there in the boundary of the forest area. Then only we came to know. We did it. Then it was delivered. We gave food. See, you see, one person is sitting on the right top. You will find a magut. It was able to understand the love and affection shown by us. And then it delivered a baby. We unchained. She took the baby and back and joined with the herd. It gives immense happiness to us. This elephant will never attack any human being. It knows that human beings are good. But in previous slides, you saw people are throwing crackers, people are throwing fire. Many times, we do a lot of harm to the animal, and those animals will have always a negative attitude towards human being. So always I say that various stakeholders, farmers, whoever deal with animals, you have to show love and affection only. They will understand that and they will reciprocate in many ways. This is one typical example. We are still seeing the mother and calf. There's one particular song was played by that Magut actually. So whenever he plays the song, he raises the trunk and trumpets actually, even now. Next. This is another case, very interesting case, 31/12 New Year night. So people are going for different purposes. And New Year night, I was also going for, New Year day, along with our officer friends and my own colleagues. And then there was a call from range officer that one bull was lying down, not able to get up. So we went there, and there was no need for tranquilization. But then we found in the dung lot of tamarind seeds. We all know that. That time it is a bit drought. With 2016, there was failure of southwest monsoon and northeast monsoon. Not much of water was available. Only tamarind was there. Nothing else. Prosopis and tamarind was there. So we found in the dung it had diarrhea. So we found that the dung contained lot of prosopis parts and tamarind parts. We all know that tamarind contains, it is acidic in nature, na? That tamarind puli nariya சாப்பிடும்போது your indica, என்ன indicaங்க?
Tamarindus indica.
Tamarindus indica, when it is eaten more, it produces acidity in the animal. It produces acidity. So it had colic, it had diarrhea and colic. So we were giving only glucose, water, and this mixed with alkaline. It ate and then became all right. We were giving, I was only giving B complex substitution along with the triangulation. Again, I was giving only B complex substitution, and then we gave it. So your diagnosis in the field by seeing an animal, seeing the surrounding, seeing the environment, season, then you come to a conclusion that this is the reason, and then you give right treatment, they immediately respond and then recover, get back to the forest area. Next. இது வேண்டாங்க, டைம் இருக்காது, லாஸ்ட் இது போயிடலாம். There are so many cases are there which I will just avoid now. This is one case you can see in March 2017, the outkain சொல்லுவாங்க, famous case na. There was a pineapple case was also there in Kerala, and we also lost one Makna recently about 2 or 3 months ago here. This calf was also suffered. You can see in the mouth. It was oral bomb which blasted in the mouth, but we were able to recover the animal at the initial stages. It was taken to our camp, and then see within 3-4 months, because of the good treatment by the veterinarians, it became completely all right. So everybody, even the court appreciated. This case went to the court actually. So the Honorable Judge, Madras High Court, he appreciated. I was there in the court. How did he do that? Then I was just explaining in the court that this is this. So then why you are not able to save the pineapple case, pineapple hidden, the bomb hidden in the pineapple, which they were not able to save, and then one which died in the Coimbatore area, Makna, 5-6 months ago. But it all depends on the severity of the injury, and then how yearly we detect. Many times, after the blast, this animal get into the forest area, and after becoming highly infected, losing body condition, maggoted, acidic, then only they come out of the forest area. By the time you approach the animal will be almost in the moribund stage, last stages of its life. So very difficult, sir. This is lucky that because we were able to intervene at early stage, and then we were able to recover, sir. The department and doctors are always capable and passionate to treat such cases. Next. This is another case with oral injury which we treated. This is how you feed. You make a food item, camouflaging the food with medicine, and then wrap it in banana, tie it with that banana, the valai nar, banana fiber. You give it as a bida. We give it as a bida. The animal immediately takes. You can see I am throwing, and then it is eating completely. I am standing this side of the EPT. That side of the EPT is the wild animal. You are giving the food. This animal completely recovered. Sometimes these may not be available in the books and this thing. These are common senses and your own practices and experience, which will make you a good practitioner in the field. Next. Time next. This we will see it. See, this is how you will find it in newspapers. Always you will find news like this. Kindly, I request my young colleagues, my young brothers, my young doctors to read newspaper. It's not only many news will be, sports will be there, cinema news will be, many news will be there, but kindly go into the details of what is happening around in nature and environment and animal husbandry sectors. That will give you a lot of insight into various activities. Next. See, these are all the reasons. There will be, as I told you, exotic weeds will be there. Exotic weeds means there will be, as I told you, like lantana, epatorium, your parthenium, so many things will be there. Department is taking a lot of steps to remove the weeds and then providing, these are all water ponds. We also create artificial ponds in naturally flowing water. We divert the water to create ponds in viable or important critical areas so that animals have an access to the water bodies. Department activities. These are department activities which in which the veterinarians also play a role. You have to say that this is a good area, sir. There is movement of animals, so we can create this thing. Biofence, beehive is also being used. The sound of bees also deter the animals. At the same time, farmers also get honey. So it's a win-win situation. So we also recommend to the fringe area farmers, you can have a beehive so that the sound makes the animal not to come to that area. It's a win-win situation. And also biofencing like Suramul and Euphorbia trigona, these are all also highly manure. They have got good manure, green manure value. At the same time, wild animals or the domesticated livestock do not venture or cross such kind of biofenced areas. Next. So these are all water bodies and structures we provide inside the forest so that animals move. Watchtowers. The bottom left is the watchtower. Our forest staff, anti-poaching watchers and anti-squad members, frontline field staff also go there and watch the movement of animals, and suitable remedial measures are being taken depending upon the situation. The other pictorial thing is whenever there is a road and railway line, we can think of crossovers. We can make crossover bridges so that vehicles move separately, animals move separately. There will be connectivity between the forest areas. Next. And these are all different fences. These are all physical containment. So whenever there are areas, these are all anthropogenic activity. We have reduced their areas, we have degraded their areas, but still we don't want the animals to come out of the forest area. We have different types of containing measures like solar fencing. EPT means the elephant-proof trenches. These are all rail lines. The one on the right top is rail lines. Unused meter gauge rail lines are obtained, and then they are also used as fences to prevent animals to venture into human habitations. Next. These are all different types of fences they being used in different areas to deter the elephants to cross over. Yeah, see, you see, a train is coming. There is a ramp on the upper left. You see the white structure is the ramp. The train moves, and then the animal is using the same ramp to cross over. So there is a way animals are regularly using. Now the train accidents are being avoided. They know if the ramp is not there, they may not be able to cross. See, it is steep thing. Jellies will be there. railway line, you will have jellies. They may not be able to walk, and adult elephants will be able to walk. Calves may not be able to walk. So they will walk along the railway line, and when the vista clearance or when there is a turning, they may not know train is coming there. Driver also may not know there is animal standing. So suddenly when they encounter animal, the possibility of getting accidents are more. So we have at critical junctions, we have made these ramps highly useful, preventing the accident. This is in between Coimbatore and Palakkad. 3 ramps were made, and successfully were able to avoid train accidents. Of course, these periodical cleaning. See, these are all small jobs which veterinarian can always think of it. Like cleaning along the railway. People sometimes throw from the trains various waste, chips, the banana, this, that, food items. So to pick up the food items, many animals come. Monkeys, deer, gar, elephants may come. So if you that also a reason for an accident. Next. Okay, these are you also create awareness among the fringe area people, teachers, various people, so that people are aware of the biology, ecology, the importance of environment, importance of safety, all those things. And do's and don'ts. When you are entering into forest area, see, you have to keep your mouth shut. Yeah, that's very important. You have to keep your eyes and nose and ears open, so that you smell differently, and then you should be able to differentiate elephant dung smell, urine smell, must smell. So you'll be safe. Recently also you would have found in Satyamangalam area, one forest watcher and one of the volunteers was killed same time. God was seriously injured. 3 persons at the same day by same animal. Within 15 minutes, all these things happen. Then bright color you are not supposed to wear, and then you should not walk on dry leaves when you are going into. You can try that. Probably professors can think of making a trek in forest area so that they can practice it. And then all these small sounds you have to know: ear flapping, breathing, twig breaking, crashing, putting mud, trumpets, rumbles. These are all when you are close to animal. When you go on observe, these sounds you will always hear. So when somebody is taking up a job in forest area, or somebody is taking a job in forest department, somebody is going to become IFS officers, and you have to remember all these things. And flight, fright, fight phenomenon you have to always know. Animals normally, when for each animal, for an elephant, if you are standing 50 meters away, you can fly away, or the animal can fly away. That is flight distance. You can run away, he can run away. Fright distance is you can threaten the animal, or the animal can threaten you. It gives a warning signs. You can also give a warning sign. That distance, say about 35 meters. 30 meters is also not safe. 50 meters will be fine. So you give a threat, they will move away. Fight distance is suddenly when you encounter, when you come so close, you have to see you or me. What happens then? Naturally, if you look at the weakness and strength, they are the stronger and better animals in that area. So that we should avoid. So the flight, fright, fight, distance, and phenomenon for each and every animal we have to understand. Strength and weakness also we have to know for you and for the animal which you are going to encounter or manage or deal. Next. So your role now, you are veterinarian, not only treating the livestock and livestock industry, and our role has become big now. You are animal husbandry man, you are a veterinarian, you are a main man in One Health programs. You are also a conservation biologist. You are also a wildlife manager. You deal with wildlife diseases which are new, emerging. Many times you may not know completely. Preventive measure completely dependent on you. Then sometimes you may have to also treat. Then you many times you may have to conduct necropsy to find out the cause, and then suggesting prophylactic measures, like in case the animal dies of anthrax, in case the animal dies of poisoning, electrocution, then you may have to correctly find out the cause, suggest to the managers various measures so that such things do not occur. Then wildlife population management. Sometimes the population goes up, elephant population maybe, or wild pig. Some species in particular area, maybe the population more than how to control the population. So that is also, I will say, one of the important role of a present day veterinarian. So we also have other challenges. This is herpes virus infection. Many calves are dying. Actually, we have seen calf death throughout the Asian and the African population. The elephant calf mortality, one major reason is herpes virus infection. Throughout the world, there are many papers and many challenges. We have also recorded such thing. As I told you, when the corridor connectivity is not there, if the population is stranded in a particular area, inbreeding is possible. once the inbreeding syndrome sets in a wild population, the population might be wiped out. The nutritional deficiency, as I told you, when they are not able to migrate far and wide, if they do not have access to different types of food, then there is a possibility of nutritional deficiency. They may come out of the forest area then there will be interaction. The toxins and poisoning, they are outside the forest area. We always put lot of pesticides and urea and other things. Poisoning. And then zoonotic diseases. So these are the main areas which I would like to improve. So there are so many data, like, this thing you can always think of how to improve the habitat, how to connect the corridors, how will you create awareness among the various stakeholders. Then you see, wildlife medication is not single animal treatment. You need to have a landscape approach, like, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra, how you will connect. Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, the population, how you will manage population management. But you need to have a lot of data also with you to know what is happening around. A lot of scope for scientific researches in this field. So I think next, yeah. So with that, small introduction to my young veterinarians, I will close the session now. From the bottom of my heart, I wish to thank Dr. Shankar sir and the coordinator sir, Dr. John Kribagar, for giving me this opportunity to share some of the field experiences with the young veterinarians for the benefit of our profession and for the benefit of our colleagues, so that when they take up the job, they can remember this thing at the back of their mind, they can perform better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Students, if you have any questions to ask, maybe we can take 2 or 3 questions. Because you will not get such a person of Dr. Manoharan's caliber to address you. So I think he has exhaustively presented in a very short time. Due to paucity of time, we could rush through some of the slides. But we will be having Dr. Manoharan for some more animals as well, to talk about some more wild animals. So please interact. He is our own fraternity. He is from our own profession. So kindly come out and you can ask 1 or 2 doubts if you have. Instead of merely telling thank you, sir, you can also interact.
No. It's okay, because it may be a new subject for them, and because since they would not have dealt wild animals during
Sir, I will ask you one question, sir, on behalf of the students. What made you to select this passion towards the zoo, becoming a zoo veterinarian or a forest veterinarian?
Yeah. See, Dr. Shankar sir is asking one question, and I will definitely tell you that's a wonderful question. I'll tell you, myself and Dr. Shankar, we are from the foothills of Western Ghats actually. Probably Shankar sir, he gave me this opportunity because we both hail from floor or the bottom of the Western Ghats, Pollachi and Urumalpet. I belong to Pollachi, Sar belongs to Urumalpet. We are at the foothills of Western Ghats. So our access to wildlife, our ancestors, my father, my grandfather, during our childhood, speaking about these animals, it has got our own that impact. When we are young, see, these kind of words, when you hear, that gives, when you come out to Coimbatore, when you come to Chennai, when you say elephant, it is something like, unimaginable object. But for me, it is a simple object, because I was speaking to my father, my grandfather, they say, day forested also, it came and went, nothing it did. That was my remembrance. So that was also one reason. After my completing my M.V.Sc surgery, when I was given an opportunity in Hyderabad Hospital to take up a post of surgeon and then a post of Aringarana Zoological Park as a zoo veterinarian, probably my intuition, my mind said, you can take up the job in the zoo. So that's why after my surgery post graduation, I joined in the zoo way back in 92, 93, and then I was continuing. It is my passion, and yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful session on human-elephant conflict. So we look forward for more kind of such presentations from you, sir. On behalf of the TANUVAS IDP under the Naga program, we thank you so much for being here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shekhar sir. Thank you, Dr. John Kribagar. I just wish all the young veterinarians very bright future.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.